Hello there, everyone. If you're watching this video, then you are part of the TTOR army, an army that is building itself up one subscriber at a time. Now, before we get into today's video, I have a very brief thing to talk to you about, and that is the existence of Quarter, which is a YouTube alternative that I recently launched and have been working at growing for the past couple of weeks. So Quarter, which you can see right here on the screen, looks like that. It's got a very similar look to YouTube, especially when you open up videos and start playing them. There's a lot of things about Quarter that are awesome. I mean, you got full 1080p HD uploads, which is something that a lot of alt tech sites don't have. You have live streaming, you have free restreaming for your live streams, you have public playlists, you have a simple, easy to use comment moderation system. You can download videos just like YouTube, except for there's no paywall on it. So you can download videos in various resolutions and mirror them onto your channel, or just keep them on your computer, whichever one. But it also has features that YouTube doesn't have, like an insight currency system that will allow you to promote your videos and your channel to the entire site. And we also have chat rooms, which is basically an open source version of the old Google Hangouts that you can use not only to video call each other, but you can also live stream to your channel from them. So Quarter as a product has a lot going on. All it needs is more users using it, and so that's where you guys come in. Be sure to create an account on Quarter today, and if you're a content creator, start uploading your content to Quarter and promoting your channel and Quarter content. And over time, you keep doing that, you will see Quarter become an awesome, thriving place. Now that we've got that announcement out of the way, let's look at the subject matter of today's video, which is a video on Facebook Watch that was put out by the official Meta channel. The video in question is titled Create, Grow, and Learn in the Metaverse, Meta. The description box says, "These guys were having fun up there pushing the boundaries of science. Phil Torres. See how biologist Phil Torres voyaged to the moon through an immersive VR and AR learning experience at the Smithsonian." And since the video is only 12 seconds long, why don't we go ahead and watch this thing for ourselves.
When you see the sites that they were seeing at that time, you realize that these guys were having fun up there, pushing the boundaries of science. If this is not the future of education, I don't know what is. When you see this,
and there you go. That's their little 12-second promo. So when you look at the description box and you look at the video itself, what you see is Phil Torres basically saying that after going through this VR experience where he got to see through in this virtual world, the metaverse, the moon landing in the 60s, he realized that the astronauts who did the moon landing were having fun up there pushing the boundaries of science. Now that's innocuous enough, except for it's a virtual world. That means people had to program all this stuff into the virtual world in order for you to experience it. So what if people start using these virtual worlds to push lies to you? That kind of propaganda is even more dangerous in the metaverse because it's not just words on a screen or a video that you're watching on a screen. You're actually experiencing whatever propaganda they're giving you. So if you take a bunch of lies, say about Donald Trump and January 6th, and you make a virtual world where you get to experience these lies through all of your senses, well, that makes the propaganda more powerful and therefore more dangerous. So these virtual worlds, much like social media sites and websites, they have programmers who program all this stuff into it. And notice the title of the video. It's Create, Grow, and Learn in the Metaverse. So in the Metaverse, it's not just about, oh yeah, you can experience past historical events through the Metaverse. No, the idea is that you can create and you can grow and that you can push the boundaries of science in the metaverse. That's what the title of the video is indicating, even though the description box and the video itself tell a different story. The folks at Meta at Facebook want to put this idea in your head that basically in the virtual world you won't have these restrictions like you do in the real world, and you can actually push the boundaries of science and discover things that would not have been possible in the real world, and that's real science. Once again, the problem is it's a virtual world. It has programmers who program things into the virtual world. So even if you were able to do things in the virtual world as far as science goes that couldn't be done in the real world, that's because the programmers of the metaverse programmed all that stuff into the metaverse. You're not actually making any real discoveries or pushing the boundaries of science in the metaverse. You're just doing whatever the programmers allow you to do. That's it. That's all that it is. I mean, let's take this idea to its logical extent. If I play a video game like, say, Sunday Rivals or NFL 2K5 for the PS2, or if I'm playing like the new game that's trending in the indie football world, Football Simulator. If I start doing crazy stuff with that no one's ever seen before in a video game, as far as my ability to produce offensively, either through running or passing the ball, or something I'm doing on defense, could you argue really, with all seriousness, that I'm pushing the boundaries of football or pushing the boundaries of video games? No, of course not. I'm simply taking advantage of whatever the creators of the games have programmed into the game. I'm not actually pushing the boundaries of anything. As a matter of fact, a lot of the strategies I use in football games would not work in real life, because in real life, defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators are very smart and adapt very quickly, and they would know how to adjust to the things I'm doing, and I wouldn't be able to adjust as quickly as them. So the stuff I do in football video games that would seem to be pushing the boundaries of football would not work in real life. It can't happen in real life like that. And yet, that's what the folks at Meta want you to believe. They want you to believe that in the metaverse, you'll be able to push the boundaries of science, when in reality, you're just doing whatever the programmers are allowing you in programming the virtual world to do. You're not actually pushing the boundaries of science in the real world. It's a lie. Thankfully, the comment section of this video had some good gold in it, so why don't we go ahead and pull up the comment section of that video right now. Here we can see Josh Butler says, 1980s, back away from the TV. You're going to mess up your eyesight and rot your brain. 2020s, yo, just strap a screen to your face and sear out your eyeballs. Right? Right? Aggie Robbins said, so they're having fun making up science in Fantasyland. If this is the future of education, no thanks. West Mitchell Beverly said, the future of education, I'm thinking deception. Tomato, tomato, right? Mark Frederick Wiseman said, this is nothing but tragic. As is, computers run our lives in the 21st century. This amounts to literally plugging a human brain into a computer. For me personally, I say, I pass. The day my human brain can no longer function and allow me to learn, you can box me up, but I sure don't want my descendants to be little cyborgs. No, thank you. Of course, Von Lay says, and they never even went to the moon, faked it all. This is Lisa Marie Tillulaken, who said, all this is entertainment. I'd rather live my real life than to live in virtual reality. Mind control at its finest. I agree with you, Lisa. It is mind control. As a matter of fact, I agree with Andrew Torba that the Facebook metaverse is a satanic mind control system / device, which makes his comments about creating his own version of it even more baffling and disturbing. Casey Rice said, right, take away the social aspect of learning and let's numb the minds of virtual reality. That's going to solve problems. And then, let's see. Daniel Lee Kushner said, this is garbage Facebook is into. They lost so many investors due to speech suppression, they are trying to sell people on this pretend crap. Jerry Simpson said, virtual experience is fine when you can't enjoy the real thing, but education needs to strive for as much first-hand reality as possible. Edna Del Cororo Man said, "For now, it seems fun, but overusing these gadgets makes people zombies." John Kennedy Jr. said, "So Meta can control the minds of children now. What could possibly go wrong with that?" Clifton Addie Williams III said, "Speak for yourself if you want to be educated this way. Don't speak for all of us and our children." Jerry Eisler said, "Basement Dwellers Paradise." Marina Pagoda said, "Virtual reality is not good for everyone. It could be dangerous for human mind." Carol Steer said, "Sorry, I think I answered your question wrong. I think education should be taught by using school books like we used back in the classroom and not on laptops and cell phones. Sorry, I'm for the old school." Parker DeVore said, "The U.S. has lost its mind. The future of education should be teachers, not technology." And Michelle GN said, "Being in a fake reality won't make the real issues in real life go away." And I think we'll end it there as far as reading comments go, but you get the point. Virtual worlds where you do your learning in, and basically they can make up a fictitious history and present it to you as real history through the metaverse. That's a real problem. It's going to make propaganda a whole lot more dangerous, and it's going to make lies stick more with the impressionable minds. They're already impressionable enough to believe what you're telling them in schools when they're ignorant. Now, if you present it to them through a virtual world, it's going to be even harder to shake, is what my feeling on this is. So the metaverse is definitely something that we should not be using at all. I don't like the concept of the metaverse. It's too much like The Matrix and other dystopian sci-fi films that I've seen as far as virtual worlds go and living a fake life in a fake world and not dealing with the real world. I've seen too much of that in movies to think that this is a good idea, and based on what I know about the observable reality we live in, it seems like an even worse idea in the real world than it was in movies.